always looking at the political fallout from this sort of thing, right? You know, who benefits, who doesn't. Well, oddly enough, Donald Trump, whether you agree with what he says or not, he was kind of prescient about how dependent we are on China and how defensive we are about China, not upsetting them. So maybe this indicates that Donald was onto something. Take a look.
One thing I can tell you, China won't be ripping us.
We are being laughed at all over the world. China and Mexico and every country is eating our lunch. China, frankly, is so artificial. You know, they just keep lowering the value of their money, and it's amazing the way they've been able to control their currency and control their success. Foreign countries are absolutely eating our lunch. They're manufacturing our goods. You look at what's going on in China and even Mexico. Remember, China is not our friend.
Now, you can agree or disagree with his views on China. There is no denying this, though. He has said, that is Donald Trump, that when it comes to the Chinese, we're playing it always too careful, that they own so much of our debt. He turned it around with me many times on this show, long before he ran for president, saying that, wait a minute, they're in this position with us and this huge surplus because we keep buying their stuff. So we have the upper hand. Gary Kaltbaum on whether this then becomes a winning issue for Donald Trump, a guy who warned us about China and said that we should step back from getting spooked by China. Gary, what do you think?
Well, look, Donald Trump being a great businessman and being right on a very important issue, and I mean very right on an important issue, will play into good politics for him as we enter this year. Now, look, we have a very long way to go, but if this continues, I keep thinking about '08 with McCain and Obama. Out of the convention, if my memory serves me right, McCain was winning, and all of a sudden all heck broke loose when markets got torn apart, and then Obama, won it going away. So this is going to be a very interesting year. If economies head south, if the market heads south, and China continues this rigging of markets and other stupidity, I think it plays right into his hand.
All right, we're going to get into that next segment here, a little bit here about the oddity of the final year of a president's term. Having said that, though, there is this issue about China and whether we can even believe what's coming out. And, of course, the market was up 9.5% last year, but as smart folks like you remind me, the Chinese market had been up north of 40% before summer and fall shellacking. So it sort of was stopped right before the bloodletting was over. But having said that, the Chinese can't seem to get a grip on how to cool that selling. Is it the better part of valor just to step back with the markets, do their thing? We have circuit breakers. We have ways to sort of control this. Are they just not good at it, or what?
Neil, when China got hit originally a few months ago when I was on your show, I had stated to you, if they keep doing what they're doing, eventually they're just going to cause panic. If you tell sellers they can't sell, eventually they're going to sell and sell more viciously, and that's all that's happened here. China needs to get the heck out of the way of the markets and let them go where they want to go. And I got news for you. If they're 20% lower, so be it, because if they don't get out of the way, that's where crashes come, and that's where they affect things around the globe.
What if it's all a mirage, Gary? What if it's all a mirage? In other words, their whole market, their numbers, they lie about them. They don't really support them. They're trying to artificially prop up their markets or whatever. And now the chickens come home to roost. What do you think?
It's exactly what is going on, Neil. Look, I don't believe their economic numbers. 3 years ago, I was looking at videos of cities built that went into their GDP numbers, and there's still no people living in the cities, and I mean big cities. So I just don't believe anything that comes out of them, and I think all the numbers are really starting to come up now, and there's just no way an economy that size can keep doing 7% every quarter, not 7.1, but 7% every quarter. I've never believed it, and I think, as you say, it's coming home to roost right now, and I do not think it's going to get any better.
Yeah, I hear it. It always reminds me of the John Lovitz character on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, 7%, that's a ticket. Yeah, 8%, that's a ticket. I don't buy it either, buddy.
The big ticket.
All right, thank you, Gary Kaltbaum. Happy New Year, my friend.